What's up, nerd? Welcome to my week in review, where I come to you every Sunday and I share 3 entertainment stories that I personally find interesting, and we go ahead and discuss that down below. Also, in the description of this video, you can find the articles that I read to bring you this episode. So why don't we just go ahead and dive right in? Here we go. So they've announced this week that Into the SpiderVerse is getting a sequel, which is very exciting. Now, it's coming out in April 8th, 2022, which I think is too long, but at the same time, at least we're getting a sequel. Now, it's interesting because the first one was a holiday release, and that came out during the holiday, in which I think works against it, and it worked against it because a lot of people are dealing with their holiday nonsense. Now, the first one has done very well on streaming, which I think warrants a sequel. Plus, it won an Oscar, so it's very interesting that it would be very interesting if they didn't make a sequel after the movie won an Oscar. That would just be very weird. However, the box office for this movie was pretty weak, and it only got $375 worldwide, and that's worldwide. And animation is supposed to do much better these days. So I think that that spring is a better release date for this film, and I'd be curious to see what they do. They already have a huge cast, but it's not. Not everybody from the cast needs to return. But I do think that the main 3, the trio, do need to return, and that's Miles Morales, Gwen Stacy, and the adult Peter Parker / Spider-Man. Now, I did enjoy the other Spider-Man from the other Spider-Men and women from the other universes, but I think that it would be fun to bring in some different ones for the sequel. For instance, they did set up Miguel O'Hara in the post-credit scene in the first movie, which I think would be great if they brought that in, and I think it would be wonderful to see him in a sequel. He was, of course, voiced by Oscar Isaac. Now, they did also hint at Jessica Drew in the announcements or whatnot, and I think that would be very interesting to see her in animation first instead of live action, because she does play a pivotal role in the Secret Invasion. But if they can do a transfer from animation to live action, that would be really something special, I think. And I think it's interesting that everybody that they've cast as the voice actors for the characters, they could totally play the live-action characters in the movie, except for maybe Haley Steinfeld, because she's playing the new Hawkeye on the Disney Plus streaming service, and I don't know if she could. I mean, if this Into the Spider-Verse wasn't connected, I mean, maybe she. I don't know. I don't know if she'd be able to play both in the MCU. It would be very interesting to see that work out. But if it was just a separate movie and not connected to the MCU, then I guess that would definitely work for sure. So, that's the first story. So, moving on to my second story. Now, it looks like Ant-Man is getting a third movie. We're getting Ant-Man and the Wasp 3. I don't know if it's going to be called that, or Ant-Man 3, whatever. Anyways, now, first off, I just want to say that I loved Ant-Man, especially since it's played by Paul Rudd. And I love Evangeline Lilly, who plays the Wasp. But I think Peyton Reed, people need to ask themselves, why are they having Peyton Reed direct this third movie? Because the first question they need to ask, or we need to ask ourselves, is why make an Ant-Man 3? Because Ant-Man 1 and Ant-Man 2 are some of the lowest grossing MCU movies of all of them. I mean, the first one is like number 20 out of 23, and then Ant-Man and the Wasp is number 17 out of 23. So I think that they're not huge money makers. The only thing I can guess is that because everybody else got a trilogy, Ant-Man's going to get a trilogy. I think it would be good if they teamed up with another superhero, kind of like they did in Thor Ragnarok when they brought in the Hulk. So I think that it'd be good for them to bring in another Avenger to share in that movie. But it is getting a trilogy. It's getting its third movie, and we'll see how that works out. I really think Peyton Reed is a horrible choice to pick. I mean, I don't think he's that great of a director, and I really wish they would pick somebody else and have picked somebody else. All right, and that's my second story of the day. So for my third and final story, Warner Brothers has, of course, greenlit the third Fantastic Beasts movie in the Harry Potter spin-off series, with production starting the spring of 2020. Now, while the regular cast is returning, comedian and actor Jessica Williams, who was featured briefly in the Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, will have a bigger role this time around with her character Professor Lally Hicks. I don't know how to say her first name. I'll just say Lally Hicks, which is a teacher at Ilvermorny School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, Go Horned Serpent, the American equivalent of Hogwarts. Now, of course, the regular cast is set to return, including Eddie Redmayne as Newt Scamander. And then David Yates is all going to return and direct this movie. He is going to direct all 5, but I have heard that if this third movie does not do well, they are not going to make 5 movies, they're only going to make 4. So this next one has to do well, guys, for us to get a full 5 movies out of this. Also, he is going to be, we're getting David Heyman as the producer, along with J.K. Rowling, among others. And the screenplay is going to be written by J.K. Rowling and Steve Kloves, who helped write the Harry Potter movies. Now, I did a video a little while back, and you can check it out here, about how I said J.K. Rowling should not write the next movie, or she shouldn't do it alone, and it looks like she's taken somebody's advice because she's gotten Steve Kloves in there. I think that her problem is she doesn't have enough action sequences, and the ones that she does have are not very good. It's all in that video. You can check it out. But I'm glad to see that she's not got too much pride that she can ask for help, and she's done that. Maybe somebody told her, like, hey, you need help and everything. And maybe she really wants to do all 5 movies, so she's like, maybe I need to get my stuff together. Now, as with the first 2 films, the third will take place in new continents, exploring wizarding cultures across the globe. And the first Fantastic Beasts film was set in 1927, New York City. And the second it was set in Paris. And the third one will be set in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Now, the original Fantastic Beasts 3 was set to shoot in July of 2019, this past July, then the fall, but the production needed more prep time given how quickly they turned around Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. Fantastic Beasts, Where to Find Them, and Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald only made $1.47 billion at the box office together. And that says a lot. The Crimes of Grindelwald is the lowest grossing movie out of the entire Wizarding World franchise. And this movie will open up on November 12th, 2021. So I'm looking forward to that. I love the whole Wizarding World. The Fantastic Beasts franchise has been a little bit iffy with me, but I'm willing to give it one more movie. And if this next one does not give anything good, I'll just be like, bail and everything. So those are my 3 stories. How do you guys feel about Spider-Man getting a sequel? I'm excited about it. How do you feel about Ant-Man 3 coming out and Peyton Reed directing? And how do you guys feel about Fantastic Beasts 3 being set in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil? I'm excited for it. I don't know if you are. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys next Sunday on my Week in Review. You guys have a good week. Bye. Hey nerds, if you like this video, go ahead and click that Geek What icon and subscribe. And if you like this video, go ahead and join me every Sunday with my Week in Review.